you getting ready to sell your house and wondering if you should do open houses? Are you wondering if open houses will sell your house? Maybe your house is already on the market and you're annoyed because your agent's not doing open houses. Let's talk the truth about open houses. First off, number one, open houses do not sell your house. No matter what, an open house is not the magic bullet. An open house is not going to be the reason that someone walks in and magically falls in love and buys your house. Does it happen? Yeah, it does happen. But statistically speaking, it only happens a very, very, very small percentage of the time. Jenny Turner with Lovejoy Real Estate in Portland, and open houses don't sell houses. Why don't they sell houses? Because that's not the goal. The reason we have open houses is to do other things though. They do play an important part in having your home on the market. Now, the first thing they do is they give me an excuse to advertise your home. They give me an excuse to post it on Instagram, to post it on Facebook, to post it on YouTube. They give me an excuse to tell people about your house. I can invite them to the open house. When we do an open house, the first open house that we do, we walk around and door knock at least 50 of your neighbors, 50 of the houses or properties around your house, so that we can invite your neighbors to the open house. Now, maybe you're saying, Jenny, I don't even want my neighbors to come. My neighbors are nosy and I don't want them and I'm very private. I don't want them to see my house. That is the wrong attitude about an open house. Your neighbors know people who want to live in the neighborhood. Your neighbors know people that they go to school with, that they go to church with, that they work with, who want to live in your neighborhood. Your neighbors can be a fabulous, amazing tool. So inviting your neighbors to the open house, making sure they understand that your house is for sale, using language about letting them pick their next neighbor. Who do they know who wants to live in the neighborhood? Your neighbors are a fabulous asset to that first open house. So one of the reasons we do an open house, especially on a new listing, is to give the excitement around that. We also do an open house to generate interest as we have a price adjustment or something else with the property happens. Now, that doesn't mean we have an open house every single weekend. In fact, I always encourage that we don't have an open house every single weekend, because what I really want when your house is on the market is I want buyers walking through that are pre-approved, working with an agent, looking for a home. Those are your best showings. But the open house serves a purpose and gives an excitement level of something going on, something happening. And if a buyer walks through an open house and there are other buyers there and they hear people talking about, oh, this is a great house. Can you believe how pretty that is? Look at the yard. That's going to drive excitement and drive activity level, and excitement begets excitement. So that's going to really help you out getting some interest and excitement around your home. Now, how should you be prepared for an open house? If you're living in your home, an open house is just like a showing. So when you're getting ready for a showing or you're getting ready for an open house, you want to make sure all the lights are on. All the blinds are up. The temperature is appropriate. So if it's hot outside, turn your AC on if you have AC. If you don't have air conditioning, open up the windows in the morning, air it out, cool it down. But don't have all the blinds closed. We don't want it to be dark. We want it to be light and bright and welcoming. Make sure it smells good. Maybe bake cookies that morning, whatever you want to do. Yeah, I know that's kind of a cliche, but whatever you want to do so that the house is ready for the open house. Also know that the agent who's going to do the open house, they're not going to roll in at 12 o'clock for a 12 to 2 open house. They're going to be there about 11:30, setting up signs, getting things ready, prepping everything. So make sure it's ready and everything's set for the open house. And how it shows should be just the same as when you did pictures. So have things off your kitchen counter, have things cleaned up, do your laundry, fold clothes, make your bed, all of those kinds of things. It amazes me when I show up for an open house and I have to clean the seller's house before I can actually hold it open. Sometimes I wonder, did they actually know I was having it open today? And of course they did know. Just be prepared, have it ready. Now, if your house is vacant, your agent's gonna do that, right? Your agent's gonna walk in and turn on lights and open blinds and make sure everything is show ready. A long time ago, I had an agent and he was darling. His name was Jim. He was an older gentleman and he worked for me just for a short window of time. And I remember walking into one of his open houses and all the blinds were closed, all the lights were off, and he was kind of sitting in the living room in the dark. And I was like, Jim, dude, what are you doing? It had never occurred to him to turn on the lights and open the blinds. It just never, he never thought about it. And I guess to be fair, I never taught him that. So now we make sure we teach our new agents how we expect a house to show during an open house. Making sure it shows to the very best is incredibly important. Now, if you live in your house and there are open houses, you do have to remember that's an additional security risk. We can't follow people around. Two people will come in and they will separate and go other ways. So make sure you have things put away. Small jewelry, things that are easy to pawn. The number one thing stolen in real estate transactions is prescription medication. And knock on wood, I've only ever had it happen one time in my world, but make sure you put away that oxycodone or whatever prescription medication you might have lying around. Sometimes when I show a house, I'll walk in and there'll be a pile of cash on the counter or checkbooks and credit card bills lying out. That's just not smart. Put that kind of financial information, that personal information, put that away, tuck it away, hide the good jewelry, hide the things like that so that nobody can walk into an open house and just, that's a risk, right? And sometimes maybe if you live in your house, you might choose not to have an open house, and that's okay. We never have to do open houses. They are always optional and on my seller's choice. So if you don't want to do an open house, just let your agent know that you're not very comfortable with that. But if your house is vacant, I definitely recommend that we do some open houses. It's just a good way to get some traction. Now, maybe if the market's not super hot and we're not getting tons of activity on your house, maybe the open house isn't going to generate multiple offers. But what it is going to do is to give us some feedback. And that market feedback can be super helpful. Hey, buyers loved the backyard, but really didn't love the fact that the windows were original and the countertops are kind of dated and they're not like quartz or granite or anything like solid surface. They're the older Formica. Well, that's great feedback. And remember, as a seller, you have to put at this price at the end of the feedback. So the buyers loved the backyard at this price, but the buyers didn't love the original windows or the Formica counters at this price. So all the feedback we get in at an open can be a tool for us, can be a tool to use and listen and learn. I have a condo right now that has some HOA challenges, and I've recommended to my seller that we reduce the price. And their question to me, which was a great question, was how is reducing our price going to solve our HOA issues? And it's not. That's reducing our price is not going to solve our HOA issues. But we don't have any offers right now. So right now we haven't even gotten as far as our HOA issues because we don't have any offers. We don't have a buyer. We don't have a buyer excited about the property. And so what a price adjustment will do will be bringing a buyer into that. So that's the part of it, is how are you building that excitement? How are we leveraging that? How are we getting to the next step? Now, open houses go in cycles. And early in my career, open houses were super important. That was how buyers figured out if they liked a house, they would tour through, they would look at it. And then honestly, technology kind of got in place with 3D tours and Matterports and all these walkthroughs and all Google Earth and all that stuff, where open houses became a little less important. And we saw it tick down in open houses, and not as many people were going to open houses. Now, buyers who tend to go to open houses tend to be at the beginning of their search, right? They're just thinking about moving. We also get sellers going to open houses. We're just thinking about selling and we're wondering what's for sale in the neighborhood. We're wondering how our house would stack up with the competition. So usually the buyers and sellers who are through an open house are kind of at the early stages, but technology made our open house traffic drop down a little bit. And then interestingly, in the last 2 years, we've seen it tick back up. You know why that was? That's because of the new rules around commissions and fees and how we have to have a contract to show you a house. And so buyers can go to an open house without ever signing a contract. It's an easy way for a buyer to explore the market before they commit to an agent. Now, as an agent, I don't ever do my own open houses. So if you hire me to sell your house, I am super clear with you up front that I do not do the open houses. Honestly, I am horrible at open houses. I don't enjoy them, and it is not my cup of tea in any way, shape, or form. My agents on my team are so much better at the open houses. But agents want to do open houses because it's a great way to pick up buyers. And so that's the goal of the agent there. That they would love to sell the house. That's absolutely be fabulous. But they're really there to meet new potential buyers and help them buy a house. And of course, at the same time, to expose your property to market. But it doesn't make any sense for me to set it in an open house because that just annoys me. I'm not good at that at all. I would just sit and I did actually cover an open house recently, but all I did was sit and work. One of my agents had a family emergency and nobody else could cover. So I stepped up and covered. And I set the open house for 2 hours and I talked to the people who came in, but I'm not following up with them. I'm not getting their contact information. That's not where I am in my business. That's not the part of the business I enjoy. So open houses are definitely a tool, but the most important tool for you as a seller really is that agent who has that pre-approved buyer, who they're showing property to, who they're walking in and looking at your house. That is what we're really looking for. So if we get traffic at open houses, but we're not getting private showings, we have a price problem. Jenny Turner with Lovejoy Real Estate. And remember, if you're thinking about buying or selling in the Portland metro market, reach out. I'd love to talk to you. But if you're thinking about buying or selling anywhere in the US, Reach out as well. I have a fabulous network of trusted realtors who can help you buy or sell in whatever location you're at. And don't forget, if you want to see more content like this, subscribe, like, hit the notification bell. It really helps our channel grow.